Diverse cultural expressions and unity of human society. This is the subject of discussion today. In Hindi, विविध सांस्कृतिक अभिव्यक्तियाँ और मानव समाज की एकता. Although the momentum of society depends on various factors, it is largely determined by psychological and cultural transformations. Cultural evolution has also brought about and is continuing to bring about a considerable change in society. This change is taking place more or less uniformly in almost all the countries of the world. Cultural evolution cannot be considered bad, for although defects in some societies are infecting others, yet even this interrelations has an immensely positive aspect. For the human race, knowingly or unknowingly, is gradually building a new human culture through mutual cooperation. While trying to bring about the development and prosperity of individuals and society, we should encourage the common points only among different communities, not the points of difference. It is natural that there are differences in society concerning dress, custom, cultural expressions, food habits, language, religion, etc. But if these points of differences are given undue importance, social problem will only be aggravated, and as a result, the unity of very existence of society will be jeopardized. If nothing is done immediately to check the deterioration of contemporary society, then as a result of different factors, in due course of time, society will automatically evolve some common principles. So the point of difference should never be encouraged in any way. Social and political leaders should refrain from harping on the points of differences in society. Rather, they should continually emphasize that it is not the appropriate time to bring up complicated diverse issues. For example, take the case of the Indian language, faith. There are so many people in India who unnecessarily fight over the issue of language, religious beliefs, but is now the proper time to raise this issue when there are so many people suffering from hunger, famine, disease, educational backwardness, economic distress, etc.? Can the people of India afford to waste their valuable time over the comparatively unimportant issues of such things? On the contrary, there should be immediately launch of campaign against exploitation, as this will keep the divisive forces under control. If this is not done, the vociferous forces will create impediments and dissension in society, and the important burning issues confronting the people will remain unsolved. Request my Harananda.
Okay. I was waiting for Suren Dada to initiate that. But okay, that's fine, no problem. Actually, this today's topic is a serious topic, and it's a very interesting topic also. So, as all of us appreciate, this, this concept of diversity and diverse expressions in different cultures. So these are a result of evolution of different cultures against different geographical backgrounds, linguistic backgrounds, religious backgrounds, racial backgrounds. So there are so many things which have naturally resulted in this diversity of cultures. But right now, the challenges that we are facing due to this diversity are centered around a few problems. Now, what are those problems? Let us hit the bullseye by initiating the discussion about the psychology of materialism. So when Baba speaks about the psychology of materialism, he also says that the whole setup of principles is based on the principle of selfish pleasure and not on the principle of service psychology. So this operates both at the individual level and at the collective level. Now, second issue that has been raised, that has been explained by him in different discourses, is the issue of lack of equilibrium or equipoise, prama. So prama ka abhav. Now this lack of equilibrium, he says there is mismatch of speed and mismatch of rhythm. Now speed means mismatch of, first if we take at the individual level, in mismatch of inner speed and outer speed. The world which we see outside is moving at a different pace according to us, and we are moving at a different pace. We are trying to catch up. Now rhythm, this is the issue of rhythm. Then the issue of rhythm. Now rhythm is, if the rhythm outside does not sync with the rhythm inside, like if we are in a, say, meditative mood, devotional mood, and we cannot really participate in an organizational meetings where topics of different nature are being discussed. So the rhythm also, if it doesn't match, then we don't fit in the whole landscape, ideological landscape, I'm telling. So this again what operates at the individual level and at the collective level. Now this speed and rhythm, the major the major impetus has been caused by the development of science and technology. As we can see, even kids are trying to keep pace with the technology outside. Everybody wants to learn the new gadgets. This was the problem that everybody in India faced when the laptops came to India. In offices, those who have worked, all of us know that most of us were not very keen to adopt and to adapt, because we were not very used to using keyboards and all. But slowly, when we realized that we have no option, but because the whole working is getting switched over to laptops and digital working, then we started learning. And today, all of us now can operate, at least functionally, we can do things. So all these things have, in the objective scenario, in the materialistic milieu, they have created serious problems at the individual level, at the collective level. So if the individual is facing a problem, the family also faces the problem. Now, what are the problems that are, this is the theoretical part. Now, practically, let us see where are we getting hit and how. First, let us take one by one the role of stakeholders in the society. First is the individual. Now, individuals in general across the world are suffering from what was said, geo-sentiment, socio-sentiment, and similar sentiments. So, and these sentiments have been exploited very ably by different systems. We'll come to that. So at the individual level, we have this problem of facing different types of cognitive prejudices. And it's very difficult to get rid of such prejudices, like like linguistic affinity is there, geographical affinity is there. If some food is a major issue of binding together or separating. Somebody, is going for a different menu, we go for a different menu, then the whole problem starts coming slowly. So this is first of all at the individual level. Now at the family level, again, there is a problem. Now we are moving on to institutions. Okay. What role has been played by institutions in the division of the whole society, human race? Family level, as we can see, nuclearization of family, it appears to be a very nice phenomenon, appears to be a natural phenomenon. But nuclearization, we see that we can assess the devastating impact of nuclearization of families, in the sense that, again, the principle of selfish pleasure is working here. Mera, tera, tu, tera, main, mera, ayam nija paroveti grana lagu chetsam. So that, whole concept starts working. Okay, I have a small family of, say, 1 or 2 children, husband and wife, let the world go to hell. In the process, what is happening? The older generation, is being neglected, and they feel that they are totally outcast from the family, and they are not required. They are not required in the whole system. So if a person is not required in the family system as an institution, he will feel totally irrelevant for the whole system. And so nuclearization has another impact. Families are getting smaller, but alienation is increasing day by day. This is what the great sociologist Durkheim had said about this urbanization and nuclearization of families. He said one day, a day will come when alienation will take place, what Karl Marx also said, alienation of human beings in society. This alienation is increasing the rate of suicides. As we can see, many countries of the world, especially Japan, USA, even in this country, if you see the figures of suicides, the official figures, they are increasing. So family as a role is also, as an institution, is also playing a divisive role. Now let's move on to the other stakeholders. Religion, I don't want to say much about it, but the number of crusades that have been fought in the name of religion, and in the name of rituals and observances, so many people have been sacrificed. Religion has been vehemently opposing the growth of science and technology. We know the fate of Galileo, what happened to Galileo, how the church treated Galileo. We know the fate of Charles Darwin when he gave the theory of evolution. Yes. Now again, these religions have totally failed to unite society. Now let's see the role of intellectuals. Have they really contributed to the unification of humanity? I think no. They have, they are feeling isolated. They are in their own cocoons of wisdom, and they live in a different world, ivory tower world, and they have very little role to play. We can take the example of any country and assess, say in India, are we really getting influenced by the wisdom of the intellectuals, the academia, the university professors? No, very few people are there. I'm talking of the whole collective framework. Now let's move on to say the education system. The education system provides for a curriculum which does not unite the world, cosmos. Though we know everything, we have chapters on cosmos, small astronomical things are being taught to the boys and girls in the school stage. But the whole integration does not take place. Nobody really appreciates the fact that the whole cosmos is working in a harmony. Now let's move on to the political system. Generally we have democracies. I'll just wind up Rajendra Dada in 2 minutes. Generally, the political system of the world with large number of democracies, they have their electoral compulsions. They are guided not by ideologies. They are guided by electoral arithmetic, and they tune their ideology and philosophy according to the requirement of the majority. Okay, so again, and if we move to dictatorship, a typical case is of North Korea, where, government has certain sets, of haircuts approved, and a person in North Korea can only go for those types of haircuts. So those are also government approved. Even for ladies, they have a different style. For gents, I think there are more than 24 approved haircuts, and nobody can have the haircut of the dictator. If he does it, he will be executed. Nobody can make any international call. People have been flogged and jailed for that. Now, let's talk about the divisive role played. I'm talking of the institutions, religion, political system, family as an institution, and then see the divisive role played by media. Now, media, all of us know, is doing the agenda setting. When elections come, they start discussions on Yamuna River, and when elections come, they start discussing on localized issues. Some issue they will raise, and whole attention of the public is drawn in that, and the whole public is caught in a vortex. Everybody will start discussing, because that is what you see on media. Now, this has rightly Elon Musk, when he took over Twitter, you see his statement. He says that this present media has compromised with free expression, and he has used the term polarized extremes. This is the term used by Elon Musk. So media is creating polarized extremes. They are creating opinions which are dividing society, which are dividing people on linguistic reasons, due to religious reasons, so many reasons, racial reasons we can see in other countries of the world. So this whole framework is working in such a manner that the whole society is divided, and it's very difficult to cope up with all the institutions which are not playing their due roles. So that was about the problem part. Thank you.
Thank you, Dada, for starting briefing, and almost you have touched many points. I'll request Govardhan, Gaur Dada to speak further. Kindly unmute yourself and put your views forward. Yes, Govardhan ji. Can you switch on your video? Yes, thank you. Govardhan ji, why can't you speak?
Okay, I'm ready. Can I speak?
Because let him, Dada, then you come afterwards. No, Dada, your voice is breaking, Govardhan Dada. So kindly hold on. Let Surendra Dada speak. Your voice is cracking. You see that you find some way and means. Okay, Surendra Dada, please.
So, Dada, Gordon Dada, permission.
Dada. Yeah, please go ahead. No, please go ahead, Dada. Maybe it is raining here, that's why network issue, I think.
Yeah, it seems. But I think, Dada, if you can switch off your video, I think it will improve.
See,
and,
Dada.
Yes.
Dada,
so, Dada,
now is it okay, Dada?
Yeah, it's better, but now hold on. Let Surendra Dada speak, and after that,
yeah,
please.
Okay.
Yes, Surendra ji.
Dada, हमारे हरान दादा ने issue को बहुत live wire he has dealt it in such a way that he has made it almost a live wire issue.
Yeah.
Because he has brought in the latest innovative Elon Musk.
Recently.
Coming up with he used a very good word. He wants that Twitter should be a global town square. Global town square. That be Chaurasta. He wants the Twitter to be the Chaurasta of the global town. So there he wants to have discourse, which people will exchange ideas and thoughts. So that's how he's visualizing his Twitter. Okay. So then he has made it live wire, but I'll try to go back a little into history and try to give some perspective. Because all this, see, in the last 10,000 years, the human society organized, started living in an organized fashion as societies after agriculture, organized agriculture. So a very good, this one Mr. Arnold J. Toynbee, he did a lot of research work. He wrote about 7,000 pages on the subject of history. And he has made some, no, we cannot go into all that. Anyway, he has identified in the last 10,000 years about 19 civilizations or 19 cultural expressions, major cultural expressions have emerged in the world in the last 10,000 years. And only of them
I think Surendra ji's Wi-Fi is not working. Surendra ji,
Indic, Hindu.
your
Indian.
Wi-Fi is also, Dada, your Wi-Fi is also stucking. So if you can switch off your video, it will be more clearer, I hope.
Oh yeah, I'll do that. Okay.
Yeah, continue.
Hope that way.
Yeah.
So I guess he has idea. It's very interesting now to see that what happened to those 19 civilizations, and today only 5 are surviving. So because they have become extinct. So the civilizational expressions, cultural expressions, you can say, have also become extinct. They live they live, grow, and also there is a possibility that they extinct. Maybe the extinction and dynamism of any culture may be depending upon what Baba describes as the 6 spokes. If the ideology has got a 6 spokes, then the ideology will become stable and prama will be established. And without that prama, those cultures, must have become redundant or have rather they can use the word, I don't know, when they have had their own rise and fall, rise and fall of civilization. The names were interestingly, the names Egyptian, Andean, Sumerian, Babylonic, Hittite, Minoan, Indic, Hindu, Syriac, Hellenic. Hellenic means, I think, Greece actually. Western, Orthodox Christian. Of course, in the Orthodox Christian, there are 2 branches. One is the Russian branch, another is the Roman church. So, like that, they got a overall. Out of these 19, we say only today 5 civilization expressions survive. One is Western, second is Orthodox Russian. Why I want to mention the Orthodox Russian, that's the reason why today Putin in Russia. The Putin in Russia is claiming that the Western civilization is trying to crush the Orthodox Russian civilization. Because I do not know, because nobody taught us in my school and my college days, in my history that I have read in the college. But nobody told me that there is a Russian civilization. There is a distinct Russian civilization. Perhaps nobody made a stress on that. Today we have heard, after having become, Russia after the Bolshevik Revolution has become a communist country, a godless country or whatever. So, but here, what according to the scholars is, the Russia really represents a distinct civilization. The Western is different. We have been considering Russian civilization also as part of Western civilization. Though there is ambiguity about whether Russia belongs to Asia or whether it belongs to Europe. It is a European country or is an Asiatic country. So there is some ambiguity about it. But Russia now claims that it is not even European. It claims that it is a distinct Russian culture or civilization. So then, of course, Islamic is there. So Islamic, of course, there are 2 important streams in the Islamic stream. That is one Iranian, one Arabic. See, the Arabia, though Islam started in Arabia, it went and captured Iran, which was a very old civilization of 3,000 to 4,000, 5,000 years, like history also has got very old civilization. But it absorbed it. But it became a part of the stream, of the Islamic stream. And of course, that is the reason why we have this. When it came to India, it was not totally Arabic. It was actually Farsi. You call it Farsi. The Farsi was the influential aspect of the Islam in India. Because by the time they came to India, it absorbed the energy of this civilization of Iran. Okay, then they come Arabic and Islam, what you call Iranian. Then you have got Chinese. In Chinese, again, of course, Chinese based on mostly Buddhism, Mahayana Buddhism basically. Then he distinguishes now Japanese Korean as a distinct civilization. Japanese Korean as distinct civilization. And of course, the Hindu. So we have 5, rather 4, not 4, 5 we can say. Western, of course, now if you want to consider Orthodox Russian as a separate civilization, then there is Islamic 3, then 4 Chinese, 5 Japanese Korean, Hindu 6. So there are about 6 to 7 what you call civilizational expressions today in the world. Okay, this is to some extent sometimes correlates with religion, and there also doesn't correlate with religion. So both geological and cultural, what you call a religious correlation is there. It meets, it also departs. It may. So now considering that in the last 10,000 years, what was the species that survived in the last 10,000 years was Homo sapien. Okay, if you go back to 70,000 years, or 80,000 years, we had 6 breeds. In human beings were not one species, but there were 6 species. There were Neanderthals, Homo erectus, and all those things were there. But there were, and those species have become extinct. They have become extinct. Even the human species had a different species. Homo is common. Homo sapien is the what you call the branch, or it belongs to the family of Homo. So in Homo family there were 6 species, and by the time we came to 10,000 years back, by the time we started our civilization, settled civilizations, we became only one species. Today in human beings there is only one species, that is sapien. We call them sapien. See, why I'm trying, if you want to understand why,
conclude this part.
You take other animals like dogs. Dogs have several species. Within the dog, cats, there are several species. So like grass, the grass family. See, in the grasses also there are several species like that. So anyway, human beings, there is only one species today. Now, why I am telling all this is to have a perspective. The perspective is that our distinctions are not some kind of a set in stone. They are not set in stone. We human beings have evolved in the time scale of the last 10,000 years. And in these 10,000 years only, these several civilizations have grown on account of the geographical, climatic, so many factors, historical, and all those factors, geopolitical, they call it also. So all these things have made the distinctions, as given us different flavor or different, like no, like a bouquet of flowers. No, Baba has said that human society is like a bouquet of flowers. All human beings are one, but they are having different. In the garden, there are different flowers. Like that, human society also got different flowers. So ultimately, we are all one.
Yeah.
Society, human society, one. So this is to give a perspective, a kind of a time scale in which we are working. So today, in the time scale, if you look at it, now we are having the clash between, say, Islam, just Islamic fundamentalism, Christianity, Hinduism, and of course Buddhism. So these are the major what you call ideological or philosophical or civilizational cultural expressions, and they are supposed to be contending with each other. But at the same time, this globalization, Baba has talked about the cosmopolitanism, or rather the urbanization. He says urbanization is slowly bringing in cosmopolitanism. If somebody goes to New York, see, nobody talks about who you are. Without take England today, England has now chosen a person of Indian origin, a young person of Indian origin, because they wanted somebody to deliver the goods. They don't want to look at who is the most efficient person or who is the right person at the right place. So they are looking at him as a human being and who can deliver goods. Okay, fine.
This is the change we are seeing globally.
So this is the kind of thinking as we go forward. As we go forward, we realize
you are not audible, Surendraji. So where is Dr. Govardhanji? You are not visible.
Dada.
You are there. So kindly continue, Govardhan, please.
So, Dada, the culture. Dada, am I audible, Dada?
Yes, you are audible.
So I'm now.
Surendra, you came afterwards, please, because you were not audible, so we have switched over to Govardhanji. Yes, Dada.
Dada, culture is called Sanskriti in Sanskrit. So Sanskriti, some means good, and Kruti means the expression or whatever the work has been done. So Sanskriti means when you express in a subtler way or sweeter way, such a human expression is called culture. Suppose if somebody offers you the food and If you take like that, it means the culture is not properly developed in you. If you do Vyapak Shaucha, wash your hands and feet and take the food, it is called Sanskriti. Means here you are doing the things in a subtler way and sweeter way. So, but for the entire humanity, culture is one. Because Baba says, by giving one example, Baba says, suppose somebody is eating with spoon and somebody is eating with fingers, and somebody is eating in banana leaves, somebody eating in a steel plate. So, but all are eating. The way of eating may be subtler in certain cases, may not be subtler in the cases, but there is a possibility of expressing it in a subtler way. That's why for the entire humanity, the culture is one. That's why Sri P.R. Sarkar also, no, he despises, no, if somebody calls as Indian culture or European culture, because for the entire humanity, that is multilateral or multifarious expressions. Such expressions are possible. So diversity in cultural expression means we have to, there are certain, no doubt there are multilateral and multifarious expressions in our dealings. But you have to respect those cultural expressions, okay, and try to live in peace and harmony, which we call as unity in diversity.
Right.
Because Baba says that we can tolerate this, means we can respect the variations of the various expressions, provided if it values the cardinal human value, unless and until it doesn't go against the cardinal human values and against the cosmic sentiment, we can respect it. We have to respect it. Then only unity in diversity is possible, and all can live with harmony. So, suppose otherwise there will be no bloodshed, there will be distrust, there will be polarization, there will be disharmony in the society. Suppose the distrust between the Hindus and Muslims led to the partition of India in 1947, which displaced 15 million people, and 1 million people have been died during the migration. Similarly, when the West Pakistan tried to suppress the East Pakistan by imposing Urdu and suppressing Bengali, then Bangladesh has been formed, and during that time, more than 10 lakhs people have been died, and nearly 2 lakh Bengali women have been raped. And similarly, recent event, if you observe in the scenario in the Iran, from September 1st week onwards, the women's movement against the hijab rule is continuing, and all more than 200 people have been died in the police firing during the protest. And the issue of hijab in Karnataka is well known to everyone. The case is pending in the Supreme Court, and people have been largely polarized. That's why, unless you respect others and local expressions and the differences, maybe it is in terms of customs, mannerism, food, dress, ideas, you have to respect them. Otherwise, the society will be divided, there will be a polarization, and disintegration of the society takes place.
Thank you.
So now, the next part I will continue, the solution part I'll continue.
Okay, so common solution at the end we'll call you. For the request of all, I think SG Dada, new SG Dada is there somewhere. Kindly introduce yourself. Where are you, Dadaji? AK Devji told me that you were somewhere, but I am not able to see you. Satyasriyanand Dadaji, are you there with some other name? I am not able to see you. Okay, we'll go to Agarwalji, please. LK
हाँ
Agrawal da, please. Thank you.
हाँ नमस्कार दादा हाँ actually I have very carefully heard Mr. Harendra Dada and Surinder Reddy Dada also. And today's topic is human society is one and indivisible.
Yeah.
Baba gave number of speeches. In his RU speeches, he talked about human society is one and indivisible. Based on it, many slogans came into existence like एक चूल्हा एक चौका एक है मानव समाज मानव का धर्म एक है मानव
Right.
मानव भाई भाई विश्व बंधुत्व कायम हो
Yeah, bro.
etc number of slogans came into existence, but are we able to unite human society which Baba wanted to unite? In my opinion is that to unite the human society, strong and effective reasoning should be there. Now, Baba gave neo humanism. Undoubtedly, it is a strong reasoning to make the society realize that human society is one and indivisible. The question is, why is why in this so many years, we are unable to make the people realize the fact that human society is one and indivisible? Probably, I feel that we have not raised an effective issue which could unite humanity. For example, the latest Anna Hazare brought an issue of Lokpal Bill, which united the entire nation into one. Everybody has witnessed it that when Anna Hazare sat for a fast, he was sent to jail, and ultimately the government has to bow down, release Anna Hazare, and a special session of the parliament was called, and where the demand of Anna Hazare was taken so moto, and his fast was finished. So the thing is that we have to take an issue which can unite human society, because talking high sounding words, giving high sounding lectures, because what I have heard to the learned speakers, these facts are known not only to the speakers and the learned people here, but everybody in the society knows that we are all the creation of God. Parma has to be there, balance has to be there, harmony should be there. Everybody talks about it, all the political leaders talk about it, but nobody has achieved the target because an issue is not there. Mahatma Gandhi gave an issue of Purn Swaraj, which united the entire world. Nelson Mandela gave the apartheid issue, and the whole South Africa was united into one. So we can't make all the people please. So it is a fact that in the trillion of population, the 5 trillion population can't be made to feel good and united. But if at least 20% of the people get inspiration, I feel our endeavor of uniting people is successful.
Yes.
So what I feel, Dada, is because I will not give a talk about what Baba gave the lectures in human society is one and indivisible, because we all know it. But the thing is, what is the issue which we can raise? What will be the outcome of this meeting? We are giving this 1.5 hour, all the learned people assembled and gathered here to bring to an conclusion as to what will be our next step, what will be our action plan, where we can take right step to unite the people. In the this is my third meeting. In the in two later meetings, earlier meetings, I have discussed on hijab issue and on new humanistic education. I had given two issues. Now, what I feel is, Dada, that we should discuss and bring about an action plan like hijab issue. I have drafted the press release also. I have drafted and sent the press release, and it is already about say 10 or
weeks back.
15 days.
Hmm.
But no press conference has been done. Whether we are going for a press conference or not, that has to be discussed into the agenda. Like I had talked about neo-humanism module, I am the expert person for making the modules. I have made so many modules. Why can't I make this module? But definitely we need to sit together to discuss and find out ways to bring all the ideologies of Baba together and the practical ideology. We should study various modules which are existing in the world, and then we can build up a new humanistic model
Sure,
which will
Dada.
definitely be definitely an effective model. So my submission is that after the meeting, we should sit down to discuss the outcome,
Outcome.
how we are going to implement our action plan. That is all what I want to say. Thank you very much and namaskar.
Yeah, now I'll request Satyashan and Dadaji, please speak something at this juncture. Satyashri and Dadaji, please unmute yourself. Yes. Thank you, Dada. Namaskar. Yes, Dada, I would like to hear from you at this juncture. Satyashan da बोलिए.
हेलो.
Yes, Dadaji.
अरे कहाँ आवाज है?
You are audible, आवाज आ रहा है.
आपका आवाज जा रहा है, बोलिए ना. तो हम सुनेंगे तब ना, कहाँ बोल रहे हैं?
नहीं, आपकी आवाज आ रही है, हमारी नहीं जा रही है आपका, तो देखिए बालों अपना.
हेलो.
हाँ दादा, हम लोग सुन रहे हैं आपको, आप बोलिए.
जी नमस्कार, बाबा नाम केवल.
नमस्कार दादा, बाबा नाम
आज का जो सब्जेक्ट है, उस सब्जेक्ट पर हारानंद दादा ने अपना विचार बहुत ही सारगर्भित रखा है.
जी दादा.
और बीच में मैं किसी काम से थोड़ा मीटिंग से बाहर हो गया था. सांस्कृतिक विविधता के विषय में बाबा ने जो कुछ कहा है, उसमें यही है कि जहाँ भी इसकी जो संस्कृति है उसको जितना दिया जाए उतना बेहतर है.
दादा की आवाज नहीं आ रही है.
दादा आवाज अभी नहीं आ रहा है, कम आ रहा है, पहले ठीक आ रहा था. जो मनुष्य की अभिव्यक्ति है, इसका जितना परिमार्जन होगा, जितना परिमार्जित होता चला जाएगा, उतनी विकसित सभ्यता हम सबों के सामने दिखने लगेगा. तो का जो विचार है, बाबा का जो विचार है, वो यही है कि जो संस्कृति है हमारी इस दुनिया में जहाँ कहीं नहीं है, जो ये साधन है, जो जितना बढ़िया तरीका से हो पाए, जितना बढ़िया से विकसित किया जाए, उतना बढ़िया है. आपका वॉइस क्लियर नहीं है दादाजी, आपका वॉइस क्लियर नहीं है. काइंडली चेक योर ईयरफोन. यस दादा. हाँ दादा, आपका वॉइस क्लियर नहीं है।
Dada, ask others to mute their speaker so that disturbance will not.
Shall we proceed, दादा? मेरी तो आवाज आपको जा रही होगी, आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है। औरों को आ रही है क्या? Others are able to hear?
No, we are also not able to hear.
We are not able to hear Dada you. So okay. We'll switch to other discussions. Thank you Dada. आपकी आवाज नहीं सुनाई दे रही है। Okay, Surendra Dada, you speak please. If anybody want to speak, kindly raise your hands. I think Srija Didi raised in between. Can we hear to Srija Didi? From Srija Didi, please unmute yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Yes.
Yeah. For me, I'm just going to be a bit short on this because I would like to hear others. One thing that came to me, when L.K. Adwalji was saying about, action rather than, much of a discussion. Yes, of course, discussions are important because that gives us an exposure as well as an understanding of others' perspective and what is happening around. It's not only we that we have to focus on, and this gives a way to deal with that. But said so, my feeling today is that as far as, as Agarwal ji was saying, all of us, do understand that we are all one, whatever we see as distinctions are all mainly external, and something internal, we are all, unique, of course, but we are all one in one aspect as to the human dharma. Okay, and every one of us do understand the moment we get to that path. But what I see is today, are we ready for it yet? We may have been trying for it for 10,000 years, but are we ready? Are we there yet? Are we ready to accept it? Are we able to, even if we want to, are we able to accept it? Why is it so? Put that question. And before that is the question.
Hello.
When we put that question, are you able to hear me, Dada? Hello? Hello? Can you hear?
Didi, you are heard.
Okay, can I go? Can I continue?
Yes, continue.
Okay, so having said this, why are we unable to accept that we are one? Because to my feeling, to my understanding, as a human, I feel the basic thing is what we have gone through. The insecurities take over the moment we accept, even among the leaderships, leave alone the common masses, even among the leaderships, all the troubles that is happening is that because the moment you accept that, then you have to accept the solutions offered by others too, and also the others issues also. That makes your solution complicated. So if that is so, it is the perspective that has to change. And when does that perspective change? Having come on a common platform. How do we evolve a common platform? All these are, it is something that you trace back into, and are we ready to do that? That is a basic question that stops us from taking the aspect. I may be putting it too simple, but I know it is not that simple. But this is a basic thing that has to be addressed, the insecurities among the human beings themselves, be it individual, be it collective. when you say individual, it is the question of existence, because we just don't know, where we are today and tomorrow. That is the state of most of us. Even the 90% of the population is so, and it may not be 90%, it may be even 95% of the population still does not know whether they exist, how they will exist tomorrow. And being so, how do the leaders really organize these people to have their securities? Because that is the biggest question. I was just reading something yesterday, which on Baba's works, where it just came up that the basic thing is about addressing this issue as to insecurity of existence, and that is where we all come in as proud. So going into that discussion, it will be the primary thing to happen. All the culture. What is culture after all? Let me just redefine myself. What is a culture? Dada was saying 19 cultures all during the entire period. An author had written. Why did 19 cultures did not survive? Because the culture that enables humanity will progress, and that which will resist or restrict will die over or cause distress. This is what we have seen from when we look backward the history. So if a culture has to survive, it has to go, like we are just saying in case of hijab or whatever, that which helps in progress of every human and the collective will remain, and that which is restrictive will cause distress and die over. So if we are talking, we are talking about culture, let that culture be towards unifying the humanity. And for that, I would say, because the other was trying to factor in the factors of unity. So when we factor, I would say the first and foremost would be existence, and going towards the human dharma, because that is the purpose of the very existence. So if these two things can be unified, then it will become much more simple to go forward. Thank you, Dada. This is my words.
With all others request, I'll request Madhusudhanji to speak because he's coming first time. Madhusudhanji, will you please? Yeah, thank you.
Namaskar.
Namaskar, Dadaji.
This is a very interesting topic. The interesting thing about culture is that cultures have evolved over thousands of years. Absolutely, you know it very well this in India. Unfortunately, I'm speaking from a country that is the United States, which has no culture. We have pseudo-culture. And that's due to the defect of capitalism. But cultures have evolved due to differences in geography, differences in climate, so many differences that as society grew up. So when Baba talks about one human society, it's not based on these material things. It's really based on spirituality. That is, spirituality is the thing that unites us all. And I've firsthand seen the expression of this one human society. I visited over many years. I visited Margis in almost every sector of the world except for Nairobi sector and Georgetown sector. And everywhere I go, Margis are doing Dharma Chakra. They all sing Samgat Chadwam. They all do Bhavanam Kevalam. The differences are that the Bhavanam Kevalam Kirtan has different tunes. Everywhere you go, there's different tunes. It's still Bhavanam Kevalam. It's so nice, but the tunes are different. People dress different clothes. People will speak in different languages. But when we sit to do meditation, we're all doing the same sadhana. So it is really neo-humanism. It is the spiritual practice that is uniting us. And that, I think, was really what Baba stresses, that is the one thing that can unite human society. And how do we do that? Well, we have to, that comes back to Kraut, because we have to, one of the things that divides society is scarcity. People are afraid of poverty. There's scarcity of resources. And we live in a post-scarcity environment. Kraut can bring that social organization that can overcome the fear that divides people. But we fundamentally have to promote our spiritual foundation, because without the spiritual base, we can't do any of it. And so really it's uniting our human society based on the most fundamental factors of life, which is our spiritual life. Thank you.
Thank you. So now let us talk of solution. Says Agarwalji, please.
Dada, once more I am here. I am totally convinced with Sarja Didi and Madhusudan Dada, what they said. Sarja Didi told about insecurities. Yes.
Srija Didi, yeah.
Srija Didi.
Yeah.
She talked about insecurities. Yes, insecurity is one of a very important factor which has to be taken into consideration when we talk about human society, one and indivisible. Now, Madhusudan Dada said that Baba Nam Kevalam mantra is the sole thing which has united all the Margis throughout the world. So there is an issue at a spiritual level. Baba Nam Kevalam is the issue. Hello?
Yes. Kindly switch off your mic.
Hello? I am audible? Hello? Hello?
Yes, Dada, you are audible. Please continue.
Somebody. So now Madhusudan Dada said, yes, spirituality. In the spiritual realm, Baba Nam Kevalam is, if I called it an issue, it has united all the Margis throughout the world. Now, I told about Anna Hazare. He has raised an issue which has united the entire nation into one. So what will be our issue at the physical level which can unite the people of the world? So we have to search out an issue, and burning issue and reasonable issue. And once the reasonable issue is there, all insecurities will be kept aside and people will unite together to fulfill that issue. So my purpose is coming again that let us come to an issue. What will be the issue? Let us decide an issue, that this issue will be here and we will move with that issue to unite people.
Right.
So that is my point. Namaskar.
Next we will talk of solution, and there's that issue must come up. Right, Dada. Thank you very much for your stress on the result at the end. Yes, Surendraji, please unmute yourself. Surendraji. Yes.
I'm here, Dada. Namaskar.
Let's talk of solutions, please. Thank you.
I would, with all my humbleness, I would like to submit one thing. That, see, Baba says that unity is something to do with the sentiment. We have to see sentiment is the basis of, said only basis for unity. And this sentiment, that sentiment which really can unite human society can have nothing to do with geo-sentiment or social sentiment. He said all kinds of geo-sentiment and social sentiments have within them the seed of division, or what do you call, time, place and person angle is there, relativity is there. So what Baba has suggested is, if all those well-meaning people who want to wish the welfare of human society and who want to see the unity of human society, they should adopt the anti-exploitation sentiment, because it is the anti-exploitation sentiment that alone can unite people. And you have all kinds of anti-exploitation. That is, you have three zones: psychological exploitation, spiritual exploitation, physical or economic exploitation. So exploitation is something which is all pervasive and in the society, and it will always ever remain an issue, because there will be people who will always be there, who will be having a feeling that he has been shortchanged, or he has been something, injustice has been done to him, or collectively or individually. So what will unite human society? Baba was very direct and simple about it. He said, you have to take up anti-exploitation sentiment, which alone will be able to help you in uniting people with diverse backgrounds and diverse attitudes or whatever.
Right.
So I want to bring to the fore, bring to the front, and within that anti-exploitation sentiment, there's a whole range is there. That's what our Agarwal Dada was also talking about issues. Yes, the issues will have to come under the umbrella or rather the penumbra of anti-exploitation sentiment. And there is no shortage of exploitation in India. There is no, it is not in short supply. Exploitation is not in short supply in India. We are having exploitation in every level. At the level of the exploit, for example, you have got Harijans, Dalits, minorities, the inferiority complex, superiority complex. Then you have rich people, poor people, and you have language imperialism. Language also is one tool of exploitation. That's what Raman or Loya was telling, that English, the English knowing class has been responsible for the equally responsible along with the caste and as well as money, being rich or poor. See, he identified three things. See, rich and poor, there is a clash or there is an exploitation between them. And he said there is a exploitation between rich and poor, yes, between higher caste and lower caste. Then third thing was between people who know English and who don't know English. That's what he was telling. So you have several dimensions for exploitation, of exploitation. So you have around you in your society the theme of anti-exploitation struggle. And this anti-exploitation struggle has to be what we call packaged, or has to be, as he said, you have to bring at least, first of all, our Margis and protests onto a platform to fight on the, there can be several planks. That's why I'm saying anti-exploitation is a penumbra. But under that, you can have so many struggles and movements. Yes,
Dada, one thing, Dada, I will just put my point here. You have rightly said that anti-exploitation sentiments will work. That is true, 100%. If one touches the sentiment of the people, they will get united. But to raise our voice, we have to build a strong platform where we can speak and people will hear to us. That is the point. Like taking a mic and shouting on the road won't serve the purpose. So what issues we are going to raise so that we can build up a strong platform for the people to hear to us how we are going to exploit their sentiments. So first of all, we have to decide as to what issues we are to take to build a strong platform.
Okay, there are 4 more people waiting, please.
Acharya Dilip is speaking first time, so Acharya Dilip, please.
Yeah, since the discussion was going on the common issue, which is exploitation, if that is brought in, then people will get united. In India, in particular, in a social sphere, there is one aspect which is very glaring and people will get united is the casteism. Anti-caste system, which Anand Marga has, but we have not come in the public very aggressively, and that's why we are not in a position to say that we follow no caste system. So this is the one sentiment which will unite Indian subcontinent, and we will be having our presence felt. And nowadays, everyone is fed up with the caste system. Those who are particularly educated people. So now that position has to be exploited by our organization, and we must come forward against the casteism.
Thank you, Dada. Yes, Govardhan ji, please. In short.
Yeah, yes, Dada. Dada, with regard to solution part, if the person is spiritually established then there won't be any confusion after seeing the endless diversities in the human society. Because of the divine vision, they always see one undifferentiated entity behind all the differences. So in the individual life, when one spiritually elevated, automatically unity will see and he will follow. But for the general society, that's why even in the Nirvana Shatkam of Adi Shankaracharya, so Chidananda Rupa Sivoham Sivoham used to tell. Because many people consider this as the total essence of Upanishads. And when it comes to the general society, in individual life, so path of synthesis, not the path of analysis, must be encouraged. And when it comes to the social life, social synthesis through intercaste marriages, international marriages, and through collective functions, get-together programs. So different, region peoples from different regions, different countries come together, and there will be a social synthesis taking place.
Right.
Similarly, Baba at one place said that always there are several differences in the society, but points of unity must be encouraged and points of differences must be discouraged.
Yes.
See, suppose say poverty, as Surendra Reddy Dada has rightly said, as a part of anti-exploitation movement, poverty is the common enemy of every human being. So, on the name of exploitation, all poor people will come together. And suppose hijab, unnecessary controversy, this is disuniting the people. It is causing the disharmony and disintegration in the society. Similarly, we need to develop the social outlook. So we need to sensitize the people with regard to the social outlook, because Parama Purusha is our father and Parama Prakriti is our mother, and this entire cosmos is our dwelling place. So these ideology must be propagated among the society. And Baba said that for the proper existence of the human beings in society, three factors are important. One is unity, second is social security, third is peace. All these three are not possible if you rake up the cultural issues among the people. Because once you rake up these issues, unnecessarily there will be disharmony and you will lose the unity, you will lose the social security, and there won't be any peace. Minority people, obviously they will feel insecure if the majoritarianism is imposed on them. So obviously all this will lead to the disharmony. That's why points of unity must be encouraged, and social synthesis and
that is why Agarwalji told that we all know what to do, but like Dilip Dada has pointed out, one very specific, we are doing, but we are not able to propagate. So that way, pinpoint action plans. So if you have something you can share. And
yes, Dada, this after elaborate discussion only we can fix that we can check out the program.
Thank you. Madhusudhan Dada, will you please speak, unmute yourself? Thank you.
Yes, I just wanted to say briefly, Baba gave two kinds of movements. For Samaj, Baba gave a movement that is based on issues. That is, Samaj can deal with issues that relate to the local society, problems in the society. That's where you can have your anti-exploitation movement. And those issues will be different in each Samaj. And for Proudest Universal, we will have ideological movement. And the ideological movement should be a fight, should be a fight against immorality. That is to promote morality and fight against immorality. And so in that way, we can develop our issues based on a structural division. Because if Proud gets involved in an anti-exploitation movement, then you will neglect the ideology. It becomes political. And if there's not a strong Proud movement behind your Samaj movement, the Samaj movement can become completely political and forget its spiritual foundation. So all this has to work together.
Rightly you said that we should do, I can, a popular movement and ideological movement, both should go together. Yes, I agree that. And popular movement is come from the platform of Samaj movement. Yes. Yeah. Paras Dada is talking first time, so we'll give privilege to him. Yes, Paras Dada, unmute yourself and talk, please.
Dada, sabhi ko namaskar. Dada, as we have seen right now, based on the topic that UNESCO, United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, its objective was to have the unity in diversity, which has not done much to unite all the nations, even though UNO also has failed right now. So my objective, and whatever I have studied, the solution says that the intercultural understanding through the better dialogues, better relations are the only right now is more important for the peaceful coexistence among nations. Otherwise, war is inevitable. So under these conditions, we can use our proud, and as Dr. Agarwal and other people, they have also emphasized that our objectives will be very clear, and let us go and let us propagate. Let us jump in the market. Discuss, decide what strategy should be there. Let us jump in the market. Whoever comes, even may not be thousand people, even 100, 10, 20 in different areas.
Right.
Let us speak. So this is my only, that through the proud, through the Baba, whatever he says,
thank you.
Let us come in the market and do the work.
Thank you, Dada. Thank you very much. Prabha Didi, please unmute yourself.
Namaskar, everybody. To bring in a lighter note, Haranand Dada had said about the haircut, which was not, the president there had to have a different haircut. I think all of them have very similar features, so it becomes more mandatory that he should not be copied. नहीं तो सभी वैसे के वैसे ही लगेंगे. So उनका जो facial expressions और उनका जो facial features है almost same ही है. So maybe that was one of the reasons. Shuja Didi also talked about has the time come? I think the time has come when we see our Indian people may not be of this generation, but people who have moved, immigrated to other places many generations before. We can see of a very recent Rishi Sunak. If he can become a well-known figure in the British government, then the time has come. There is a lot of intermingling. People are quite a mixture is there in the human society. The time has come, and I think only thing is ki, like Agarwal ji had said, we need to take some action plans.
Right.
And I think trust issue is one of the biggest issues faced by the people today. So if we can solve the trust issues, that would be a very good beginning to solving the insecurities, and like rightly Surendra Dada said, that exploitations. So the trust issue have to be solved first. Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you, Didi. Srijadi, please unmute yourself.
Yes, Dada. I think all of us are moving down to the same solution from how I iterated. It has already been said that it has to go as Masud Dada was saying, and what I said in the very beginning was the unifying factor is spirituality. For every human, they want to, once they realize their purpose, they want to go there and they want to take that path. And for them to take that path, what is the obstacle? Because they are not sure whether they can do it. They can sit there. Okay. So if that is so, then what is it? It is the question of existence. That was my very first statement. That we have said it has to be done through Proud. It has to be done through the Samaj movement. It has to be, because that is where the things are diverse. And the diverse actually leads to unification, provided it comes down to survival and the existence, and thereafter the progress. So if we go on those two platforms, these are two unifying factors which will address diversities and insecurities. So looking at it that way, how I feel is we are all coinciding to the same solution, that we need to take action in a way, and like Prabhadidi was saying, trust, insecurity, removal of insecurities. So if we are moving down to ensuring livelihood, ensuring human existence, and along with ensuring that everybody can take the spiritual path, then we are taking a unifying platform, and that will have the support of the world by itself, provided we go through Samaj movement. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Interesting. Yes.
After that, I'll ask both the others to speak. So, Lokesh ji.
दादाजी नमस्कार, सभी दादा दीदियों को नमस्कार। दादाजी, जैसे एक सबको पता है कि मानव समाज को एक करने के लिए बाबा ने बहुत अच्छा कंसेप्ट किया, तो रिवॉल्यूशनरी मैरिज तो पता ही है सबको कि एकदम सबको जोड़ता है और हर तरह के लोगों को, हर तरह के कल्चर के लोगों को एक करता है। लेकिन इसमें कुछ देखने को मिलता है कि अलग अलग कल्चर के लोग कोई विवाह तो हो जाता है, लेकिन उनके परिवार के बीच में या अलग अलग कल्चर के बीच में वो एकाकीपन का थोड़ा कुछ अभाव देखा जाता है। तो उसको दूर करने के लिए एक बहुत अच्छा कंसेप्ट ये है कि जो बाबा का आनंद मार्ग का जो कंसेप्ट है, आनंद मूर्ति जी बाबा ने जो उनका दर्शन है, उस दर्शन की जितनी स्वीकार्यता, जितनी समझ अच्छी होगी उन परिवारों के बीच में, तो उतना ज्यादा उनके बीच में प्रेम और स्वीकार भाव पैदा होगा, चाहे वो कितना भी कल्चर उनका अलग अलग हो। नन मार्गी को भी अगर हम एक करना चाहते हैं, तो उनके लिए भी सबसे बड़ी बात और पहली बात यही है कि उनके बीच में हम ये लेकर जाएं कि सबसे पहले 16 पॉइंट्स, बाबा का सिस्टम, बाबा की जो चीजें जिससे उनको ऐसा लगे कि हाँ, ये एक मानव समाज, नव मानवतावाद की बात कर रहे हैं, तो वो उसको स्वीकार करेंगे। और जब वो उनके बीच में आने लगेगी, तो बाबा का जो नव मानवतावादी भावना है, पूरे विश्व को जो इतनी प्रेममय भावना है, उसको अगर समझते हैं तो सब लोग उसे स्वीकार करने लगते हैं। मेरा कहने का लास्ट में मतलब यही है कि बाबा के सिस्टम को अच्छे से समझने के बाद ही एक हो सकते हैं, और अगर अच्छे से नहीं समझा और हमने अगर ये स्वीकार कर लिया कि हाँ, हमने साधना ले ली है, हम कीर्तन करते हैं, लेकिन हमने बाबा की मूल भावना को नहीं समझा है, तो वो कल्चरल गैप
So we have to spend time. We have to have a patience.
I will like to add something. When Rajendra ji, when there is time, I will speak.
Yes, Dada, you speak, please. After
one point that strikes me is that we are not talking to people. We are talking to ourselves actually. Every time we talk just to ourselves, and we feel contented, and we feel that okay, I have expressed myself. There has to be some communication with public, so that public will know that here is a voice which is different from all others, and that will be maybe an opening to some kind of gathering a mass around ourselves. We end up just talking to ourselves and feeling contented, and we have spoken, we have read sufficiently, we have shared sufficiently, but here is public dialogue. There are public programs, we never go there. There are demonstrations, we never go there. We watch from a distance and we say, oh, this is right, oh, this is incomplete, oh, this is wrong, oh, they should not be doing that, this is not the solution. We know the solution. Okay, we know the solution. But do we go with a placard there? In what movement we have seen Margis or protests going to a placard? In Delhi, there was a movement against this Nirbhaya case. I did not see any proud placard there, or any Margi participating there saying that there's something different I want to also say. Nothing, zero. So many issues in India, so many issues in India, but we are stuck with a very narrow, in a very narrow space, and we all survive and live and spend our time in that very narrow, small space. I think that is what is holding us. We have the material, we have the knowledge, we have the way to say that there is a different perspective also, but we don't speak out to the public. And when I'm analyzing why it is happening like that, perhaps we did not have the exposure of doing that. And that starts from student life and youth life. So what Lokesh is doing and what intellectuals are doing, you people, and our magazine is now, Proud Now magazine is again coming up, in 2 days time it will come up. Articles should be written, there are 10,000 views to the magazine, online magazine. There are 10,000 people, 10,000 times the magazine is opened every month. And if these opinions are written sufficiently, but again, I will be asking everyone, please write an article, please write an article, and nobody will write an article. So again, what is happening? We are shy. We are shy. We think that if I write, what people will say about my writing. Oh, better I don't speak, better I don't write, better I just read others and don't say any word. I'm happy with myself. That does not bring proud to public. This was my reflection.
Right. So I'll take few seconds here. It's an open forum. Let's take an example. How many of us we have brought outside people? It's an open forum. It's not a Margay forum. It's not an organization forum. So we have to invite people. At least from this platform, we have to invite people so that in true sense, it is an open forum. So with this statement, I'll request Satyashan and Dada to speak few words on this subject. Satyashan, kindly. आवाज सुन रहे हैं दादाजी? सत्याशन, आवाज सुन रहे हो तो अनम्यूट करके बोलें.
नमस्कार दादाजी.
नमस्कार, आवाज आ रही है. थैंक यू.
I am very much agree with Acharya Bimalanand Dadaji. We all are here with the same mindset. We all know that we all Anand Margis, we are here. We are not sharing our views to others. According to Baba, when we are talking about the unity, so if there is disunity, what is the cause? What is the cause of disunity? We got many points from brothers and sisters. That disunity, the first cause is self-interest. When people become selfish, when the person will think about own self only, then problem starts, then this starts. The second thing, according to Baba, when people doesn't get the opportunity to express his or herself, then again disunity will start. And third, some people, due to some glandular defects, they are indisciplined. They don't want to follow the discipline which is constituted by the society to run the society smoothly or organization smoothly. They want to break the rules. And these three things is cause of disunity. So remove the selfishness. We must follow yama and niyama strictly. When we follow moral points, automatically the arena of our mind will expand. So morality and spirituality, a spiritual practice, it will expand the human mind, the ectoplasmic stuff, and will able to accommodate everyone. Second thing, to give the opportunity to express his or herself. If anyone wants to say something, he must listen. And the person, due to the glandular defects, they are not following the discipline. So again, the administration must think carefully to remove the defects of the person and will able to establish unity amongst. So again, here question arises that we are talking here amongst the mortgage brothers and sisters. We must go outside of our family. We'll see what is going on. Like Dada Bimlan Dadaji told that when Nirvaya Khan takes place in Delhi, the thousands of people come out from the house, but there was not a single proutist, there not a single GP member was there. So if we want to bring change, if we want to establish a unity in society, we must take care of his or her problems. So all of you, Sri Surendra Dadaji, Rajendra Dadaji, Haranand Dadaji, Sister Sirja, Sister Prabha, they all are giving a very good points, very nice points we are bringing. But how will go in society, we must decide a platform. Then we will able to establish Baba's mission. That's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dada. At the end, I will request you to, I think, because the point came from Dilip Dada, from Agarwal Dada, from Paras Dada, it has come already earlier. When things are being discussed, who stops you to go for a press conference and press release? I do not know. Who will tell you? I mean, at individual local level, you go, and I don't think Satyachanda, I think everyone can go individually to the press, like today's subject. Anybody can go to their local press and give a release that this was discussed or whatever. Dada, your view, please, Satyachanda. Because who will do this? I mean,
see, I hope we are here in this online meeting from more than 30 cities.
Yeah.
More than 10 states we are participating here. So wherever we are, whatever point we decided, if we'll write a press note and give to the press, then this message going public. So I'm very much agree with Rajendra Dadaji.
Yes,
wherever our members are, we must write a press note and we go in press media and through press media, because see, we all know that when press, media, television will understand our points, if they will propagate, very soon people will come to know that what is the Protestant view and all. So we must after because today we concluded the night time. So prepare a press note and give to the media. It will very nice.
Thank you. So now time is up. Can you speak in 30 seconds? Madhusudanda, please, what are you trying to tell? Madhusudanda.
Yes, very briefly. I would like to encourage everybody to run for public office. I have done that, and when you're running for public office, you automatically have a platform to speak what you want to say in the public. And it's a very good opportunity. It's not a question of winning or losing the election, but you get out into the public and you're able to say things and people will listen to you because you're running for public office. You learn so much that way too. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll take your guidance. Srijadi, please, in short.
Yes, Dada, as to going public on whatever, solutions or ideas we have, I would say that it should go through a particular process of verification and then go ahead and have it published. Otherwise, it may have, it should not have adverse repercussions. It's a matter of caution that I say this.
Let us start first. You rightly said there has to be a group of people who will screen through and then it should go to media.
Yes,
right?
yes, it should be screened through. And, it should be, in the consolidation of the views that it should.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. And one more point to add, having discussed so much, I would have an idea bring up regarding the evolution of leadership among the Margi community as such now to evolve the Samajans. So what is the process that, if it could come up for a discussion, I would be really, that would be something forward movement.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you all, and thank you for participating so much in number. It was very graceful occasion. Let us do a minute of meditation as per our protocol before we end the session. So sit for meditation. Thank you. Namaskar and thank you everyone. So now we all know that every Saturday we have this session shifted. So every Saturday 8 p.m. My humble request is please call people from outside Marga. It is an open forum. So this much at least we should do. Thank you very much. So I'm closing the session with your permission. Thank you.